Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to talk about a very well-respected Muslim reformer named Shah Waliullah. He was the person who was during 1703 and during that time for 70-80 years, and he was the one who was greatly respected by the people of subcontinent, as he was the owner of a Madrasa Rahimia, and he worked for the uplift of Muslim community in the subcontinent, and he also helped Muslims without fighting, with the help of his fighters, his students, to get rid of Maratha domination in some areas of subcontinent. We are going to talk about this wali of Muslims, and then we are going to see how this person, this literary person, a person who was the head of the institution, how he helped Muslims of that time, and he was so well respected, especially in the area of Delhi where this madrasa is there. This is the library of Madrasa Rahimia, and we are going to see what his contributions are for the Muslims of subcontinent. We are going to talk about Ahmad Shah Abdali also, who was invited by Shah Waliullah, and let's see what's there. There are many interesting facts related to Shah Waliullah and his services for the Muslims of subcontinent. Before we move ahead with the next slides, subscribe to channel and share it with your friends, that you may be able to see these interesting details about the Muslim reformers. It's a sequence of Muslim reformers about which we are going to prepare our videos, so you will get the next videos also about different Muslim reformers who work for the uplift of Muslims of subcontinent. So now we are going to see next slides, and we are going to talk about what his contributions are. It is the grave of Shah Waliullah. It was the stamp which was used in his madrasa at that time. He translated Quran also, and now we are going to see individual works which were done by Shah Waliullah at that time. He was the one who, at that time, in his era, Muslims were under the Muslim government. It was not British government at that time. It was Mughal government, but Mughal leadership was so much fallen in luxuries, but that they were not interested in Muslim problems. And Muslims who were living in Delhi, which was the capital at that time, and Muslim government was there, Mughal government was there, and at that time Muslims were forced by Marathas from the surrounding areas to leave their religion and to become non-Muslim. And they were constantly sending these complaints to the king, but king was not listening anything to them. So those at that time, as Shah Waliullah had his madrasa's name was Madrasa Rahimia, which was established by his father Shah Abdur Rahim. So they kept coming to him, and they kept telling him about different problems, and he was the one who realized that there were some issues with the Muslim and Mughal government, but along with that there were some weaknesses of Muslims also. And for this purpose, he started a movement which was for the religious uplift of Muslims, for the religious development of Muslims. And for this purpose, he took some steps. Now let's see what those steps were. First step which he took was the translation of the Holy Quran. He thought that Muslims didn't know much about Islam in its exact sense according to the Quranic orders, and they were misguided by different kind of political persons, and they had adopted many Hindu superstitions while living with Hindus since many years. So he translated the Holy Quran in Persian, because in those days many people knew the Persian language. When he translated the Holy Quran in Persian, many people started not only reciting Quran for barakah, but they started understanding Quranic orders also exactly, directly by reading it, by reciting it. Since then, Muslims had to ask about the Quranic orders to different scholars. But after the translation of Holy Quran, now it became easier for all the Muslims to access, read, and understand what were the orders in Quran, and to then mold their lives according to the true sense of Islam. And it was also possible that they were not going to be misguided anymore. And in this manner, when Muslims started learning directly about the Holy Quranic orders, they started implementing those teachings and those orders in their lives, and they became better Muslims than before. Then another step he took was that he started writing many books explaining the verses of Quran. There were some orders in Quran which were clearly written, but those were not understandable because of a lot of background information, because of a lot of background and explanation required for those. So in this manner, for the explanation of those Quranic verses, he wrote 51 books of tafsir. Tafsir means that it was explanation of Quranic verses in reference to background and in reference to different events and occurrence which were there in different parts of the Holy Quran. So in this manner, it was a big research work which was done by him. He not only wrote these books himself, but he collected a lot of authentic books from all over the world in his library, and these were placed over there. Those students who were working in Madrasa Rahimia, who were doing research work, they started utilizing these books, they started reading those books, and this library and madrasa became the center of Quranic and religious understanding. Not only this, but a new generation was trained, and they were now able to guide the next coming generations also, their families also in their areas. Other people also were getting guidance from these Muslims who were getting education from there. So in this manner, some other things were also there, that at that time he wanted to remove differences of Muslims, and he wanted them to get rid of non-Muslim values, non-Muslim systems. And for this purpose, he thought that Shias and Sunnis and rest of all Muslims must get their education and must remove their differences, must become brothers, and they must all follow the true Islamic reasons and systems. That is why he started explaining Muslims in mosques and in his khutbas, in his explanations, that all Muslims and all Muslims who were divided into different groups like Shias and Sunnis and Devbandis, etc., and they were fighting against each other because of this sectarianism, they must become the brothers of each other, and they must come closer to each other. And in this manner, Muslim society could be stronger, and they could counter the non-Muslim propaganda and non-Muslim enforcements in a better manner. So Muslims became united, Muslims removed many differences, and in this manner, Muslim community was better than before. Madrasa Rahimia was working a lot, not only by the reference of research, but it was also training young Muslims also. And it was giving them way how they could be the brothers, and how they could guide different Muslims in the Muslim society. As these students, it was a residential madrasa, and these students were coming from different parts of the subcontinent. After getting education from there, they were going back to their areas and guiding those people. In this manner, later on, with the next reformer, we will see the next reformer about whom we are going to discuss. He was Sayyid Ahmad Shahid Barelvi. He himself was the student of Shah Waliullah, and he followed his teachings, and in his area he started giving consciousness to people that how to live according to Islam and how to develop brotherhood, and then Muslim society could be stronger and fight against those forces which were pressurizing them to leave their religion and to become Hindu or become Maratha or become some other non-Muslim part of the society. So in this manner, Muslims were stronger. Muslims were very clear about what their orders of Quran and what the orders of their religion was. Now, at that time, Muslims' lives were so difficult that they could not say azan, they could not offer prayers, they could not fast, and they were constantly forced, killed, their houses were burnt, they were in so much trouble, their properties were looted, and it was told to them that if they were not going to become Maratha or Hindus, they were not able to live in that society, or they would be killed. And a lot of losses were faced by Muslims, but Mughal governments were so pleasure seeking. They were in their palaces, and they didn't know what was happening in their surrounding areas, and they were not even interested to solve the problems of Muslims, even if many applications were going to them, but nobody was listening. So at that time, looking at all these things, Sayyid Ahmad Shah Waliullah invited Ahmad Shah Abdali, and Ahmad Shah Abdali was in Afghanistan. He was the student of Shah Waliullah. He came with his force to Delhi, and he fought against Marathas in a battle in 1761. He defeated Marathas in Panipat and finished their power forever. So in this manner, afterwards, Muslims could say their azan, they could live peacefully, their lives are better. He's Ahmad Shabdali, it's his picture. So in this manner, Muslims were very happy and they thanked Shah Waliullah, they thanked God, they thanked Ahmad Shabdali, and now it was easier for them to live with their religion. And Marathas never, after this, Marathas never forced them to leave their religion in the area of Delhi. If we evaluate this, we will be able to see that Shah Waliullah's influence remained even after his death, because he had 5 sons, and his sons also had sons. So in this manner, it was a house full of scholarly men who were working with research and with all teachings of Shah Waliullah, and they kept working for next hundreds of years, kept guiding Muslims of subcontinent, and Muslims of subcontinent could continue living according to their religion. It was a great time for with the problem solving at that part, which was just one madrasa and one person's efforts, and so many Muslims were getting benefit of that. So this is the end of the discussion. I hope you enjoyed it. For Sayyid Ahmad Shahid Brelvi and other reformers, we are going to upload new videos. For those, subscribe the channel and share it with your friends. Watch the video fully that you may be able to enjoy it. Take care of yourself. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum.